Hi everyone, Stacy Whiter here on behalf of Campus Mortgage with part 2 of a two-part series on Fannie Mae construction to perm financing. Now just a quick reminder before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice or used in place of Fannie Mae guidelines. Also, this video was issued on July 11th, 2017, and the information contained in this video is subject to change without notice. So we already know that construction to permanent financing is a long-term mortgage granted to replace the interim or temporary financing to construct a new home. And there are two types of closings that Fannie Mae will allow. The single closing transaction, which we already discussed in the previous video. Now let's take a look at the two closing transaction, or the double closing. The two closing transaction is actually going to be two separate loan closings that occur with two separate sets of legal documents. The first closing is typically to obtain the interim construction financing and the lot if necessary. The second and final closing is to obtain the permanent financing upon completion and improvements. Fannie Mae does not provide financing for construction loans. However, they will purchase loans that were used to provide permanent financing. The lender that provides the permanent financing may be different than the one who provided the interim financing. So that's very common, where you may have a lender or a bank that does construction financing, and then the different lender is actually going to be the one who does the final financing. A common scenario is where someone goes to a small community bank to finance the lot and the construction financing, but then they go to a mortgage company or a different bank to obtain the permanent financing. And a lot of times what will happen is they'll work with both lenders at the same time, and they can actually, in a lot of cases, lock in their permanent rate on the permanent loan even during construction. So that's a pretty common scenario. Now, for the double close, the loan must be underwritten, again, based on the permanent loan terms. So whoever's providing the permanent financing is going to underwrite it based on that. And then the construction lender is going to have their own terms. Now, the transaction may be a limited cash out or a cash out refinance. So the reason why it's not considered a purchase is because the second closing is actually paying off the construction loan. So it would be considered a refinance. Now, it can be a cash out refinance if the lot was owned for 6 months prior to the permanent closing. And of course, the LTVs are going to be subject to the Fannie Mae eligibility matrix. All right, everyone, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. For more tips and videos, please visit campusmortgage.org to look for their weekly mortgage video tips designed for all mortgage professionals, including underwriters, loan officers, processors, closers, and post-closers. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.